Senior health advice welcome you back. Stop walking. It's not working. I know that sounds strange, maybe even a little offensive. But if you're over 60 and you've been walking every day hoping to stay strong, balanced, and independent, you deserve to hear the truth. Walking is wonderful. It moves your blood, clears your mind, and brings peace to your day. But here's what almost no one tells you. Walking only moves you in one direction with very little resistance. It keeps you active, yes, but it doesn't keep you strong. Think about it. You walk every morning, yet the stairs feel steeper. You stretch and garden, but standing from a chair takes more effort than it used to. That's not laziness, and it's not just aging. It's your body quietly saying, I need more. After 60, ordinary movement, like walking, cleaning, or light yoga barely challenges your muscles anymore. They stop responding. It's like your body goes deaf to the signal that says, stay strong. But here's the good news. Your body isn't broken. It's just waiting for a louder signal. Today, I'll show you two simple, science-backed movements that wake up your muscles again. Not harder, not longer, just smarter. By the end of this video, you'll know how to rebuild your strength, improve balance, and protect your independence for decades to come. Before we begin, I'd love to know how many days a week do you walk? 3, 5, or every day? Drop your number in the comments below. Because movement isn't just exercise, it's how we tell our bodies, I'm not done yet. Before we get into the first exercise, let's talk about why this matters so much. Every year after 60, the average adult loses between 3 and 8% of their muscle mass. It doesn't sound like much until you add it up. By 70, you could have lost nearly a third of your strength. By 80, nearly half. That's the quiet difference between living in your own home or needing help to get dressed, between playing with your grandchildren or watching from the sidelines. And here's the real truth. It's not your age that causes it. It's the signal your body is receiving. Walking sends a whisper. Resistance and strength movements send a shout. Your body listens to effort. It adapts when you give it a reason to. But when your muscles stop getting that signal, they slowly begin to shrink, a process called sarcopenia. It's not sudden, it's subtle. It's that moment you notice getting up feels slower, your balance feels less steady, or you avoid stairs because they just feel harder. You might be thinking, but I'm active. I walk, I garden, I stay busy. And that's wonderful, but activity and adaptation are two different things. Walking is rhythmic and repetitive. It moves your joints through a narrow path, using the same small range of motion over and over again. It doesn't challenge your nervous system to balance, your muscles to push or pull, or your bones to rebuild density. That's why so many people walk every day and still feel weaker each year. But the good news, the incredible news, is that your body can still rebuild muscle, no matter your age. Research shows that even in your 70s, 80s, and 90s, new muscle fibers can form when you give them the right kind of resistance. It's not magic, it's biology. You haven't lost your strength, you've just stopped reminding your body that it's still needed. So let's fix that. Let's start sending a louder signal. Because once you do, your body listens and it responds faster than you think. Now, let's move into the first movement, the one that rebuilds the power to push yourself forward again. This first movement targets something most people don't even realize they're losing the ability to push. Not just to push objects, but to push yourself. To get up from bed, to open a heavy door, or to lift yourself from a chair without help. It's the foundation of independence, and walking doesn't train it at all. That's where the wall press comes in. It's simple, joint-friendly, and surprisingly powerful. Here's how to do it. Stand an arm's length away from a wall. Place both palms flat against it at shoulder height, about shoulder width apart. Now imagine you're gently pushing open a heavy door. Bend your elbows slowly, lowering your chest toward the wall while keeping your body in a straight line from head to heels. Your elbows should angle about 45 degrees, not flare out wide. Pause when your nose is a few inches from the wall, then press yourself back to the starting position. That's 1 rep. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions. Rest for 1 minute and repeat 2 or 3 rounds. Do this 3 times per week. If that feels too easy, Take a small step back to increase the resistance. If it feels too hard, step a little closer. Your body will tell you where the sweet spot is. Here's what makes this movement so effective. It activates more than 60% of your upper body muscles, your chest, shoulders, arms, and especially your core. Compared to walking, which barely uses these muscles, the wall press reawakens strength in the places that protect your posture and balance. It also trains the connection between your brain and muscles, improving coordination and reaction time essential for preventing falls. I once worked with a woman named Margaret, 73 years old. She couldn't carry groceries without help and had chronic shoulder discomfort. After just 6 weeks of consistent wall presses, she said, "I feel like my upper body belongs to me again." That's what this movement does. It reminds your muscles who's in charge. It's not about perfection. It's about reclaiming what time has borrowed. And now that you've rebuilt your power to push, let's move on to the next movement, the one that determines how long you can stay truly independent. If you could only do one exercise for the rest of your life, this would be it. It's called the sit to stand, and it's more than an exercise, it's a life test. Researchers actually use it to predict how long someone can live independently. Here's the test. Sit in a sturdy chair, cross your arms over your chest, and stand up without using your hands. Could you do it easily? Did you struggle? Did you have to push off with your arms? If that felt challenging, don't worry, that's exactly why this movement matters. It strengthens the muscles that decide whether you can rise from a chair, climb stairs, or get out of bed on your own. Let's walk through it together. Stand in front of a stable chair with your feet shoulder-width apart. Extend your arms forward for balance. Push your hips back, not your knees forward, as if you're reaching for the chair behind you. Keep your chest lifted and your eyes forward. Lower yourself slowly until you barely touch the seat, but don't collapse into it. Pause for a breath, then press through your heels to stand back up, squeezing your glutes at the top. That's 1 repetition. Start with 8-10 reps. Rest 90 seconds. Repeat 2-3 rounds, 3 or 4 times a week. This one movement works your biggest muscle groups, your glutes, quads, hamstrings, and calves. When you challenge large muscles like this, your body releases powerful growth signals that build new muscle tissue and strengthen bones even after 60. In one 16-week study, seniors practicing the sit to stand gained nearly 4 pounds of lean muscle and cut their fall risk in half. But the magic of this exercise isn't just physical, it's psychological. Every rep reminds your body that it's still capable. Every stand-up builds confidence that spills into everything else you do. I once trained a man named Harold, 79. At first, he couldn't rise without using both hands. 6 weeks later, he stood using just his legs, smiled, and said, "I guess I'm not done yet." That's the moment we're all chasing, not just strength, but dignity. Because when you can rise on your own, you're not just standing up, you're standing for yourself. And now that you've mastered the push and the rise, let's talk about what truly keeps your strength growing, the secret most people miss. Now that you know the 2 movements, the wall press and the sit to stand, it's time to talk about the biggest mistake people make. It's not about doing the exercises wrong. It's about not doing them often enough. Consistency is where strength truly begins. Most people start strong. They feel inspired for a few days, maybe even a week, and then life gets in the way. They skip a session, then another, until the routine fades. The problem isn't willpower, it's expectation. We think progress should happen fast, but real strength after 60 isn't built in a burst. It's built in rhythm. You don't need to train harder. You need to train smarter and steadier. Here's what that looks like. 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Just 15 to 20 minutes each time. Focus on control, not speed, quality over quantity. Even 2 focused sessions per week can make a profound difference, not only in how strong you feel, but how confident you move. And here's something important. Your muscles grow during recovery, not while exercising. So give your body time to rest, eat enough protein, stay hydrated, and sleep well. If you ever miss a day, don't punish yourself, just pick it up the next day. Momentum is built by returning, not by being perfect. I tell my patients all the time, your body doesn't need intensity, It needs consistency. You're not chasing youth. You're reclaiming function, the ability to move, lift, and live on your own terms. Because at this stage, strength isn't about how much you can lift. It's about what you can do without help. So don't measure progress by numbers. Measure it by moments when you rise from a chair easier than before or carry the groceries without strain. That's your strength showing up. Quietly, steadily, consistently. Now that we've covered consistency, let's talk about recovery, the part of strength building that most people never think about. Yet it's where your progress truly happens. Here's something most people don't realize. Your muscles don't grow while you're exercising. They grow while you're resting. That's right, recovery is not a break from progress. It is progress. When you challenge your muscles with movements like the wall press or sit to stand, you're creating microscopic tears in the muscle fibers. During rest, your body repairs those fibers, making them thicker, stronger, and more resilient than before. But that rebuilding only happens if your body has the right fuel and enough downtime to do it. That means protein. Aim for a good source at every meal. Eggs, beans, fish, or lean meats. Hydration. Muscles are nearly 75% water. Even mild dehydration can reduce your strength by 10%. Sleep. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, nature's own repair signal. Gentle movement. On rest days, take slow walks, stretch, or do light mobility work to keep circulation flowing. These small habits turn exercise into transformation. And remember, soreness isn't always the goal. At your age, fatigue without pain is the sign of good training. If your joints ache sharply, rest longer. If your muscles feel pleasantly tired, that's your body saying, I'm rebuilding. Think of your recovery like tending a garden. You've planted the seeds with exercise. Now you water, nourish, and let them grow. I've seen this over and over in my patients. The ones who rest strategically, eat well, and stay hydrated recover twice as fast as those who push too hard. So don't rush the process. Your body may heal slower than it used to, but it still heals beautifully. And every recovery day brings you one step closer to the strength you're building. Now that we've covered how to grow stronger safely, let's talk about something even more powerful, how to believe in your progress again, and why that mindset will determine your future strength. At this stage of life, strength isn't just physical, it's emotional. Because every exercise you do, every rep you complete, begins in the same place, your mind. You've lived through decades of challenges, raising families, building careers, overcoming illness and loss. But the hardest battle now isn't outside you. It's the quiet voice inside that whispers, maybe I'm too old to change. Let me tell you something, as a doctor who's worked with thousands of people over 60, that voice is wrong. Your body is listening to everything your mind tells it. When you say, I can't, your nervous system tenses, your breathing shortens, and your muscles lose coordination. But when you say, I can, something remarkable happens. Your brain begins to reconnect with your body. Neuroscientists call it neuroplasticity. I call it hope in motion. It means your brain can still form new pathways, rebuild balance, and relearn strength even in your 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's not optimism. That's science. But to access it, you must believe that movement still matters, that every time you stand, stretch, or push against that wall, you're not just exercising, you're retraining your brain to trust your body again. Because real confidence after 60 isn't about looking strong, it's about feeling capable. When you stop comparing yourself to who you were at 30 and start celebrating what you can do today, that's when progress begins to multiply. I once worked with a man named Carlos, 81 years old, who told me, I feel weak because I can't do what I used to. I said, Carlos, stop judging yourself by what's behind you. Strength isn't about repeating the past, it's about mastering today. 6 weeks later, he stood from his chair, without help for the first time in years. He smiled and said, I didn't think I'd ever do that again. That moment, that mix of disbelief and pride, that's what strength really is. So the next time you start your exercises, remember this. Don't think, I have to. Think, I get to. You get to move. You get to breathe deeply. You get to feel your heart, your balance, your presence returning. That's your body's way of saying, thank you for remembering me. You're not rebuilding youth. You're rebuilding trust, the trust between your mind and your muscles. And when that trust returns, independence follows. Now that you've rebuilt strength, balance, and belief, let's bring it all together. The reason this journey matters far beyond exercise. So take this as your sign. Do one wall press today. Do one sit to stand. That's how change begins, one deliberate movement at a time. Then come back here and tell me in the comments, I started today. Because when you move, you inspire others to move too. Keep going. Your body is still listening and it's ready to get stronger with you.
If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to the channel.